I'm using the old controls. But yeah. But you can only do that for some extent of time. It doesn't work permanently. And once you're out of breath, essentially, your character will start swaying all over the place. Yeah, that of course it is. Yeah, but the low stances are very nice if you want to go for bursts. You know, like just it reduces the recoil compared to a high stance. It's not it's not a lot, but then again, we're right now firing at close distance at 300 meters or plus. It will absolutely make a difference. So yeah, that's basically the stance system. It's very simple, easily explained and remembered. More questions about that? Or are you good on that now? Okay. Then coordinates and coordination on the map on the battlefield. Let's start off with coordinates. Quickly join my team for a moment. Look at my ass. Look at my beautiful, beautiful ass.
Yes.
Okay. Coordinates are rather simple. Open up your map and zoom all the way out.
Yes.
You'll notice that we have a grid system.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why is your map so you can zoom out so much more than I can? Why?
I don't know. I'm just zooming out. Is that wrong?
I mean, I can't zoom out that much.
Okay, but it don't matter really. It's just for show essentially. You'll notice you've got numbers on the top, on the bottom, on the left, on the right. Those numbers start going out from 0 and then all the way to 9.
1 for me.
Well, no, 2 over here, but yeah. Yeah, it is, but I'll come to that in a moment. Essentially, you had maths in school, so you probably know coordinate system, like the very basic coordinate system, which goes from 0, 0, and then to infinite, infinite. This is very much the same. This is 100% the same thing. And essentially, you just imagine the more you zoom in, the more accurate your numbers get. So let's say this is 0, 0, and this is 0.11 in our coordinate system. If we now zoom in, I did not. I was showing a stream, but I can also mark. Essentially, I can mark this as. Go on for a moment. Let's just quickly do this bit proper. So this is like one basic grid box. The very, very basic. This is a 1x1 square, which in reality translates to 10 by 10 kilometers. Now then, if we zoom in, we add our next step on the decimal. So, now we've got, if we go by this as 0 and this over here is 1, we've got 0.1, except we do not say the 0.1, so we just say 0.1. And this and in that case, in turn, actually, let's go with the red. Then this square, and this square over here is 1 by 1 kilometer. And essentially, you start reading it out like you would in a normal coordinate system. You know how in math you go first by the x and then by the y axis? That is very much the same for telling a coordinate. So, if I say I'm at 0, 1, 0, 1, then I'm talking precisely about this point here. Yeah, it is very much the same as with maths, except, we say it a bit different. So now we go in even further, and let's see. There's another layer of coordinates we can get. For example, let's just quickly look at our HQ here. You now notice that we've got an even smaller square, like here. This square is 100 by 100 meters. And then 027, 031. Yeah, that's hundreds of meters. So essentially, a one-digit coordinate always describes a 10-kilometer field, or a 10-kilometer square, and a 2-coordinate goes for 1 kilometer, 3-coordinate goes for 100 meters, 4 goes to 10 meters, and 5 to 1 meter. Exactly. Yeah. However, and sometimes when you want to go for an artillery strike, having 100 meters gain is a bit iffy. Unless you're Russians and you don't care about civilian lives, but we kind of do. For that reason, we have got a beautiful tool which is called map tools. If you're on the map, you can hold down Control Windows key to get up the interaction buttons for micro daggers, terminals. You can turn on flashlights so you can see in the dark. You can go for map tools. What I want you to do go now is go for a small map tool, and you get this thingy. Then you get this wonderful thingy. No, it's only yours. But what you can do with it, you can turn it. You can hold down Alt, grab it on the arrow, and then you can turn it, like so. So what I would suggest you do is you align it with any of the lines to first of all get a good alignment going. You see that little dot in the center over here? Where, if you look on my screen over here, that little dot is an indication of the center point. That's more for artillery. And then you can align the red line with the coordinate system, and now you've got it good aligned. And what you can do now is you can now drag it onto your grid. Like, you can also turn it. You can also turn it the other way. It don't matter really. No. Whatever makes you feel more comfortable, it ends up the same. And what's the thing is, and if you would now like to call out a coordinate, you can just hover over the coordinate, and then you can see the little red lines that stretch out from your cursor. That way you can tell the more accurate coordinate. So if I'm, for example, aiming for this rock over here in the bottom right of the red square, my coordinate will tell me that it is 6.5 on the x-axis and roughly 7 on the y. But since I've aligned it to the top, I need to be careful because I need to go from the bottom to the top always. So it's not 7, but it's 3. So in that sense, it would be easier if you align it the other way, if you would align it like this proposed. But if you can handle it, you can also put it upside down. But you need to remember it because that is sometimes a crucial mistake people make. So it is easier this way, yes. No, not really. I mean, you can align it before the mission sets out, and then you can just open it up whenever you need it. And that way you can, learn the coordinates. And then you just add that number to the numbers that you already have given by the grid on. I mean, well, sometimes you want to, well, you could do that, but this way it's a bit more accurate. But because you can actually tell precisely what coordinate it is to the next stage. So you can go for a 10 by 10 rather than 100 by 100, which is helpful. So in this case, I would note that this rock down here, which we described earlier, would be on the grid 0 to 7. And then I look up, what do I have here? Okay, that's another 7, so 0 to 7, 7. And on the horizontal, sorry, but the vertical, I have got, well, 31 plus 3, so that's 0, 3, 1, 3. Yeah. That is for artillery mostly. It is a compass essentially, which tells you northeast, southwest on the map. And if you, for example, if you know your own location and you want to figure out where something is, so let's say we're at the mosque at Bastan, I'm just quickly gonna mark it. Let's say we're that little red dot there. And let's say I want to figure out, okay, we need to head, for example, over here to the village of Terrassi. On the quickest route, I can then align the compass like so, and it will spit out the number that I need to head. So in this case, I would have to head to bearing 67. No, that red line is part of the compass. That's good. So, you just align it with, and that way, mostly it is used for artillery practice, since a lot of the times you will get a target as artillery and you need to get the precise bearing. For the artillery, the degrees are not enough. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is, more playing things. But, not really necessary. Yeah, exactly. The inner circle is for the normal degrees, and the outer ones, those are mil, which are used for artillery only. They're more accurate, but on the battlefield, no one can deal with mils. No one. Mm-hmm. Pretty much. So yeah, that's basically that. However, there's an easier way if you want to figure out your own coordinates. That is the microdagger. If you open up your microdagger, hold down Control, Windows, Equipment, configure microdagger, then
You
it
can
automatically
just press the home button twice and you
or
can.
that or that, but I prefer to do it that
I
way.
tried to tell you yesterday as well, but you didn't listen to me.
Okay. What you can do over here is you can just read out your coordinates on the top. It tells them right there in the top right corner of the first screen. That is accurate coordinates to 1 meter precise. So that way, it also gives you some useful other information. For example, your elevation above sea level, the direction you're facing, date and time, stuff like that. Pretty handy. You can also open a proper compass, which will even tell you at what speed you're walking on the top right, or moving. I know, it's not very much useful. And then it, of course, has the usual map mode.
12 kilometers an hour.
Mm-hmm. Now, something that I would like to inform you about. The microdagger has another useful feature. Do me a favor and click on the top of the microdagger where you can see the time. It brings in an extra screen where you can put marks, waypoints, you can connect it to certain items, for example, laser rangefinders, and
Nice.
you can go for settings. The settings are not that great, but if you want to change your angular units to mils because of your artillery, awesome. If you want to show your ways on the map, waypoints on the map, you can do that or not. But that way, if you receive grid coordinates from something, or from someone, let's say HQ radios you in and demands that you move to point 05 scratch out 0250509, instead of looking on the map where the hell is that, you just open up your microdagger, you go to that setting, and you slap in the coordinates, you hit enter, and boom, it will show on your microdagger instead. You can go for add waypoints, delete waypoints, set waypoints. 025. Wait, sorry. 0205 and 0500. Wait, no. 9? Okay. It's not on your actual map, it's only on the microdagger. It doesn't connect to your. Yeah, it doesn't connect to your actual map. It's more of a quick. But if you look at my screen real quick, you see I set the mark there, and I've added it to my waypoints, and I've clicked set waypoint, and now my compass tells me the relative directions that I need to head. For example, you see the blue line, that's my current heading, and the red items, those are my target's bearings and distance. Yeah, and if I now click on... Yeah, but if I now hit up the map, you can see the little pin marker on the target. Possible. But yeah, sadly, that pin mark does not translate to your actual in-game map. It only stays on a microdagger. Yeah, you can probably still at least find it. Yep. So the microdagger is a very handy tool. If you know how to use it, it's one of the most powerful things you can have by your side. And then you know if you are done with your waypoint, you just go to your waypoints and you click delete, done. Simple as that. Now, now then, the next point that we had was that you said you had some trouble with tracking your teammates on battlefield. That is, yeah, that is indeed quite the issue. The best tool you have available for that is your compass on the bottom of your screen. It will tell you the relative location of your teammates as long as they're within a certain perimeter of you. If you lose sight of them for too long, it's difficult. So what is important is that you try to keep line of sight to your teammates at most time, or that you are in a position where you will regain line of sight. For example, if they go to clear a building, of course it's impossible to keep line of sight, but then you need to know they're in that building. If they're exiting on another side of the building where you cannot see, they should give you intel, hey, I'm exiting the building on the south side. Then you know, all right, they're on the south side. Yeah. That is the thing. The descriptions of the people are still a bit sloppy. That's mostly about everyone's communication, but that's something that will... Yeah, the issue is that is something that everybody else everyone needs to work at together. One person alone cannot fix that issue. That is a group issue, because it's the lack of... Yeah, the thing is, a lot of people are still pushing on their own. Whilst I'm not punishing that behavior, I do not encourage... Yeah, I should probably punish it more, but I want people to, for now, experience what happens if they go alone. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have that problem yesterday. I always was with Wilson.
As long as you stick with at least one other person, it's better. But as long as the squad then knows where all of the individual buddy teams are, then we can actually work efficiently. So then, it's difficult. So then, let's switch over to the next topic. You wanted to go for Grenadiering, both of you, some exercise. Yes. I was. Yeah, it's fine. I was generous. I published 2 loadouts, one for Grenadier, one for Sniper loadout. You can change the rifle. It's really just about the basic.
I already have a sniper thingy,
So then, first of all, with the Grenadier, basically you're just a normal rifleman. You've got a rifle, you've got a scope, you go pew pew. Okay, nice. But you've got an extension. You've got your underbarrel grenade launcher, which is a fancy little thing. If you hit F 2 times, sorry. First time it goes to full auto, second time it switches over to the underbarrel grenade. You see a scope pop up on the side of your rifle. If you now
aim... Which button was it again?
F.
F.
Yes, switch firing modes. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Now you see the scope on the side of your rifle. That one, yes, exactly. Those are distances. Grenades are not bullets, they fly at a way lower velocity and thus fly way shorter. So you can range up from 50 all the way to 350. By using page up and page down, you can switch that distance. Now, all that you need to do as a Grenadier, pick your target, select the appropriate distance, and boom. Exactly.
Yes, but we have rangefinders on us.
You do have rangefinders, which are an option. If you hit B, you've got a vector of 21 by default, unless you changed it. If you didn't, yes, B. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Bring out your binoculars. Those are a fancy little thing as well. They're a rangefinder as well. Hold down R until you see a red square
Wait,
appear.
I'm gonna hit that rock up there.
And then let go. And then it...
176.
I know, don't you worry. So now you know that that target is roughly, let's say, the tree in front of the rock. That one is 163 meters away. So you get out your rifle, you zero into 150,
Almost.
aim a bit higher, and nail it. F.
Oh, I need to reload. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Oh no, hold on.
Yes.
On the binocular, hold on R. Like ranging. Yes, the red square, and then let go. Once you see the red square, let go of R. Exactly.
Yes, yes.
By the way, another fancy bit of detail, if you press tab, it actually shows the bearing of the target you're looking at. Nice if you want to call out shit.
Really?
Yeah. Boaty.
Oh. Yes.
Don't hold on P. Just hit tab alone. Not don't hold it together with R. That is for the sniper training later on.
Ah, nice. I didn't know we could see bearing with these things.
You do not know what you want to do with the vector later. I'm gonna teach you, boy. That thing is fun.
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly. Holding gives you degrees, and if you then let go of tab and you press R, it gives you the range. Once the red square appeared and you let go.
This Grenadier thing is not that hard. I thought it would be harder.
No, Grenadiering is really easy. So, you just get a range and you boom. However, on the battlefield... on the battlefield...
on bigger range it would be probably much harder than this, but...
To be fair, on the battlefield you rarely have the time to, get yourself a distance going. Just guess. It's a 40mm grenade, alright? It has some splash damage, just guess it. See where the first grenade hits and then send the second one. Up there.
Okay, I'm gonna try with the normal setting.
Yeah, like really just guess it.
Almost. I almost hit it.
Like,
Okay,
once
you
again.
need to aim higher. I'm trying to hit that rock again. That's my target. Fuck. So close.
Wind is a factor, but not too much for a Grenadier. So when should you be using grenades? Grenades have two uses mainly. Well, actually 3 uses. First of all, annihilation of clumped up groups of enemies. A single 40mm grenade can take down a dozen of enemies within a single splash, if aimed correctly. Second of all, grenades are very, very handy to flush people out behind the cover. For example, that rock over there, someone is hiding behind it. Well, no more. And third of all, a third good use is against light armed vehicles. Most light armed vehicles actually do not take kindly to grenades. Who do a thunk? It won't probably kill them outright, but it will probably damage everyone inside enough to make them bleed out in a short while. So, also good use for that. However, there's not only explosive grenades. You can, for example, also load smoke rounds. And I probably don't really have to explain the color code, but I'll do it anyway. Red is for enemies, blue is for friendlies. That's it. So if you fire red smoke, you can mark enemy targets for your teammates, or Or if you've got, for example, air support inbound, you know, a attack plane going at 500 kilometers per hour would probably like some visual confirmation of the target, thus a fucking red smoke blowing out of the enemy's ass is probably a pretty good start. Or, if you cannot mark the enemy, then mark your own position with blue smoke and say, hey, don't fire at the blue smoke. And then the pilot will be like, scroll down until you see and then you see on the top left, you see the menu where you select, and then you've got reload, red smoke, blue smoke, HE. Once again, Grenadier is simple as fuck, but efficient if done correctly.
Oh, I think I shot it too far. Yes.
Whatever.
It went there. I tried to shoot it like there, but it popped off.
The only thing you should be wary of smoke grenade. The only thing you should be aware of smoke grenades bounce. Like I'll fire a red smoke so you see what I mean. I'll fire against a hill, and then you see the bounce.
Oh, I already have one smoke. Okay. I tried to shoot a smoke and it was a grenade.
That's because smokes do not explode on impact, so their velocity will make them jump. So keep that in mind. Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't. It starts after some while, but you see that smoke is actually not from when you fired it, but when it bounced the first time and then it jumped up again and landed somewhere else.
Where did my grenade go? I loaded in smoke round and I can't see it.
Yeah. So you need to be careful. You need to think about that when firing a smoke grenade. So especially when you're trying to mark your own position, right? If you just fire it on the ground next to you, that will work because it will get stuck in the ground quickly. But if you fire it like a bit in front of you, it will bounce.
Yeah, I think I understand why my grenades went over the hill both times, even though I was aiming at the rock.
That's fine. Okay.
They just jumped over.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just one word of warning. Do not underestimate the shrapnel damage that the explosive grenades can cause. So be careful when you fire them near friendlies. Try to keep at least a 50-meter distance or some solid cover in between you. Because, believe it or not, you see that... actually, let's look for a good target.
I think the toilet is the perfect target.
No. Let's maybe, let's take a radio tower in our base, right? That one is fairly far away, right?
Yes.
You hit the shrapnels?
Yes, it landed right next to you, right behind you. Actually, it was there.
Exactly.
I saw the dust.
So keep that in mind. Shrapnels are dangerous, especially if you fire them up high, because then it will explode like goddamn grape grenades and then go everywhere.
That's fun.
But that's also something nice to keep in mind for the enemies. If you've got enemies and they're, for example, hiding in the forest, setting a grenade at like half height against a tree. Oh boy, the shrapnels can go mad. Oh no, it doesn't damage the tree, but set it against the tree and it will fracture, and then it will start. Yeah. It actually goes for shrapnels. No, it won't. Also, that will do damage to a human being, yes. Yeah. There are some more fancy types of grenades as well, but I'm not going to go through with them because they're more needed for squad leaders. But just if you ever look at them in the secondary thingy, there's, for example, illumination grenades for, night combat, or hunt IR rounds, which are essentially small drones that can be operated from a screen. But once again, yeah, it's a tiny drone on a parachute. You fire it into the sky, it will come gliding down, and you've got like a limited amount of time to look through the camera.
What if I shoot it straight up?
The grenade or the drone?
Yes, the grenade.
Well, it will come down at some point. The question is when and where, because you cannot fire up 90 degrees.
Yeah, I know. I can see that it's not taking.
Also, another thing, grenades do have a safety, but I'm not quite certain if it actually works proper, so let's quickly get you. Yeah. If you fire a grenade too close to you, it will not impact, will not explode.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. But do not rely on that. Be careful where you aim your grenades. But yeah, that's basically it. That's a Grenadier for you. Simple and efficient. And the rest of it is just practice, just get the range guessing going. Good one. Okay. Then I think we can switch over to sniper. Now here's where the fun begins.
Oh, no.
Okay. By the way, Boti, I know you already made your own setup, but I suggest you first of all use my setup for some reasons that I'll elaborate in a few moments.
Okay.
Okay. Now then. Sniping is a bit of an art in this mod. Now, let's maybe have a look at our inventory first.
Yes.
Oh yes, yeah, wait. Okay, so first of all, the rifle, we're using an M200. It's a decent sized sniper rifle. It's not a 50 cal, it's a 40. But it is one of the highest accuracy and range compromises you'll get. You've got your Vector Night, which is the night version. There's also the normal Vector 21, but that one doesn't have night vision. This one has night vision included, sometimes useful. You'll need your micro dagger, as per usual. I suggest a notebook as well, because then you can note down things, like, ranges for certain things. And we've, of course, got our ammunition in our vest. And now we're going to look into our backpack. First of all, A-Track MX. That is a computer that calculates ballistics for you. We will need that. Definitely, if we want to go for accurate long-range shooting. It's a must. Next up, the dagger. It's basically the micro dagger, but only in numbers. But sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. You may use it, you don't have to. I like to have it there. Then we've got the Kestrel 4500 NV. It's a weather tracker. It allows you to, calculate weather thingies like wind, humidity, temperature, air pressure, yada yada yada. Firing device, because I do love firing devices. Boy, I love firing devices. Not necessary though.
What the fuck is this? Everyone's sitting here and having fun?
Yeah, so get the fuck out of here. And we've got the range card as well. This one will tell you your distances for your rifle. It is the alternative to the A-Track MX. You don't have to use it, but if you want to get a quick shot off, the range card is way faster than the A-Track, for multiple reasons. And an SSWT kit, which is a tripod for a sniper rifle.
Bro.
You've got a lock popper and some stun grenades, because I do like to have them on me for house clearing when necessary, because, a sniper isn't the greatest person for clearing a house, but sometimes there's a locked door and you want to get inside to get a good firing position.
Hey, could you please shoot him?
No. No, I won't. So yeah, that is the basics. So
Bro is spassing out. He fucking ate a fucking cockroach and he spassed out.
Mm-hmm. So then,
Yes.
what we want to do for now is we want to open up our equipment. We want to configure our microdeck. We click on the top. And now we're going to use that fourth button in the menu, which says Connect to. Click it. And now it is connected to your Vector, your rangefinder. Now then, No, it doesn't give you any option, but it will switch you back to main screen, and you will notice that there's a new line appearing with like a laser mark sign, and then range elevation. Okay, so what I want you to do now is hold down Tab and R at the same time. And once you've looked for your target, let go of Tab and R. Will both give you the bearing on the left-hand side and the distance on the right-hand side. And more funnily enough, you go out of that view, and oh, what wonder, the micro dagger all of a sudden has all the information to the target. It tells you the bearing to the target, it tells you the range to the target, it tells you the elevation of your target, it tells you the grid coordinate of your target. So that's all what you need to know. Wonderful, wonderful. But hey, you want to know what's even more funny? We'll go to our tool number 2.
It didn't work for me, I don't know why.
Didn't work? Then
No.
try again. Make sure it's connected.
It is connected.
Okay, and then hold on Tab and R at the same time. Not separately, but at the same time.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
And once you have the red circle, once you have the red circle, let go of Tab and R as well, so you get the range, and then it will input the data. No, there's not. It seems technically possible, but ARMA 3 is a game that encourages team play like hell, so an actual proper spotter who does calculations for you is a godsend for a sniper.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's get to our second piece of equipment. Go to your equipment, and then open the A-Track MX. This is our ballistics calculator. Our beautiful, beautiful ballistics calculator. This one is also connected to the vector. Once you've opened it, don't you worry, I'll elaborate.
It's a lifesaver.
It prevents you from having to do actual maths while you're playing a computer game.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
It will be helpful.
First of all, the A-Track MX offers you 3 tables. The gun table, the atmosphere table, and the target table. Those are the input tables where you input data. Below that, you've got the output table. That tells you how you have to correct your aim in order to hit your desired target. In the bottom, you've got a gun list, and you've got options. You're gonna ignore the options, and you click on the gun list. Now then, you see a number of calibers available. Now, we need to figure out what caliber are we using. How do we do that? Well, it's obviously quite simple. We go to our inventory, and we look at our ammunition, we hover over it, and it tells us caliber 0.48408, JTAC 305 grains. So, we go back to our A-Track. You can set one up. I don't have one set up because I don't use it that quickly that I need a hotkey for it. You go to the gun list and you open up the gun 0.408 JTAC 305 grain. Open gun. Now you've got all the details for the gun preset. You can specify new guns if they're not in the list, but that is a bit of a pain, so I suggest you do that with me together, if anything. Okay, next up, the atmosphere table. That one has 2 modes. It has the AT mode, which is the altitude temperature mode, which is more quickly because you can quickly figure out your altitude if you've got a micro dagger, and you can quickly figure out the temperature with the Kestrel. I'll show you in a moment how. Or you've got a second method, the TBH method. Temperature, barometric pressures, and relative humidity. This one is a bit more accurate, although it requires a bit more time. But another advantage is this: you're capable of using it without having to figure out your height. So if you've lost your micro dagger for whatever reason, or because you're a fucking idiot and you forgot it, you can only use your Kestrel to figure out those numbers. You do not need a micro dagger for it. So yeah. Simple file like this? What do you mean? These 3 numbers, the temperature, the pressure, and the humidity, you can only figure out with Kestrel, which I'll show you in a moment.
Kestrel is a lifesaver as well.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're quickly going to head out a bit because, we need some range and, a bit of targeting. So let's quickly see where do we have a nice, lovely little area to target things. Let's see.
That nice hill there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want something. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, that's a cool hill.
So then players teleport.
Oh no!
Okay.
Goodbye.
No.
Okay then. So. Okay. So then. Now that we're sitting here on the hill, let's get ourselves our atmospheric readings first of all. Open up your equipment, open up your Kestrel, and then you see this beautiful device showing up. Now,
Yes.
first of all, I would like you to click the button of up once, which should switch you to user screen 2, which will input you with all the data that you require to fill in the the 8-track. First of all, you've got the temperature, you've got the humidity, and then you've got the pressure. So you close it again. You go to wait a second, where is it? There it is. Show Kestrel, because that will keep it open in your side while you open your 8-track to input the data. So you can read from the Kestrel, we've got a temperature of 15.3. Input that in the temperature. You've got a pressure of 998. So let's input that. And a relative humidity of 67.5. All right. Once you've input those data, you're all done. And that is taken care of. Do be wary that atmospheric data changes depending on your positioning. It is different from a hill to a valley, and different in the morning, in the evening. So do keep that in mind. If you move, you cannot just set up your atmosphere in the base and then just fire and forget. Doesn't work. You should check it from time to time because it does change dynamically throughout the entire day. Now then.
Oh no,
Next
it
up,
dropped by 0.1.
We've already cleared the first two tables. The gun table and atmosphere table are cleared. They're set up for a shot. Beautiful. Now then. The third table, the target table. Probably the most important one. First of all, latitude. Don't touch. Don't touch it. Never touch it. You should not touch it. Why are you touching it if you're touching it? Don't touch. It's essentially your positioning on the Earth, but it's not that relevant. Next up, direction of fire, degree from north. No need to touch it by yourself. Your vector will do it for you if you do it correctly. Don't touch it. Wind speed, we will touch that in a bit. Wind direction, we will touch that in a bit as well. Inclination angle, don't touch it. Vector will do it for you. Vector is beautiful. Target speed, shooting a moving target is a bit much for the beginners, so let's leave that out. And target range, vector will do it for you. Don't touch it. All right, so we've already cleared like what? 5 slots out of that? Okay, that's not too bad. So let's bring up our vector, which is our binocular. Let's look for a beautiful target. Let's see. Do you all see that tower down there, bearing 235 in the valley?
Yes.
Okay, let's say we're aiming for that window of the tower, yeah? So you hold down tab and R at the same time, you let go, it gives you the bearing, 235, and the distance 843. Wonderful. Let's check our 8-track if it actually accepted the data. And, oh what a wonder, yes it did. And it also set up the inclination angle for us. Wonderful, wonderful. So all that's left for us to do is the wind speed and the wind direction. Alright, how do we figure out the wind speed? Well, obviously, Kestrel. Now comes the second part. You click up once again. You see user screen 1, which gives you wind data. You close it again, you set it to show, and you can read the wind. However, there's a problem with the wind. Wind is, a bit directional based, like, it comes from a certain direction, and depending on where you turn, the wind speed changes. Oh shit. So what we need now is to figure out where the hell is the wind coming from. To help you with that, and you can let it tell you, but it's a bit difficult. What you can do instead is you can press Shift K. You will get a little arrow on the top left of your screen. It will give you the direction where the wind is coming from.
It's coming from behind us.
Exactly. And that is basically it. It will also give you an estimation of how strong the wind is. One of the dots stands for 1 meter per second. It always rounds up, so since we're at 1.5 meters per second, it shows 2 things because it rounds up to 2 meters per second. But that's just a rough. It is a relative thing anyway. If you turn now, you will notice that the arrow actually changes. It always shows you the precise current direction of the wind. So, we know the direction, and we also know how strong the wind now is. It is 1.5 meters. And it's coming from straight behind us, so 6 o'clock. So we input the wind speed to 1.5, and the second value just also set to 1.5. That is for crosswind or changing wind. In the beginning, just go for the same value as you had in the beginning. If it's somewhat stable, if it keeps range, if the wind goes up and down constantly, then you can put it to a estimated value in between, and it will just make the average value out of it. So, all done with that. And you understand what I mean by the clock system of the wind direction, or should I explain that as well?
I get it.
How about you, Peace? Okay, good. It's okay. So now that we're done, we can look at the output table. It now tells us elevation. Hold, for me it says 4.28. And then core 0.04.
So does that mean that we have to like change it, the scope itself?
Exactly. We have to
by
adjust
4.2?
precisely. But I would go for 4.3 since you will add those values together. The elevation,
Is this?
you add the hold and the core together. So you've got the hold 4.28 and the core 0.04 that equals to 4.32. But
Yes.
since we can only do adjustments of 0.1, we will do 4.3.
Okay, I'm gonna do that right now.
Okay. Okay. Now, when it comes to adjusting your scope, I suggest you zoom out of your scope first, because then you can actually see on the top where you're going.
And then we have to change it to the left by, that's 30, 0.34? 5?
And give me a moment.
0.3?
To the left by 0.
4.
Go for 0.4.
I don't remember how that works. Which button it is? I see.
Yeah. Remember,
Yeah,
if you press Shift, you can go for a full adjustment up instead of a 0.1 step.
Yes.
So 4.3, and we decided 0.4 left. And now we're done. We're ready to take a shot. I will warn you of something before we take a shot. Right now, our barrels have not fired a single shot yet. They are still cold. The cold barrel usually is not as accurate as a warm barrel. The first shot might go a bit astray. So let's see if it goes. Booyah.
It.
Okay. Which step? Yep. Once again, sniping in this mod is science, but it's very rewarding if done correctly. And I do enjoy it. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah. So. No. No, wait. You put it together in one of the cells. So, you started at 1.7, so you put in a 1.7. And now your second value went to 1.8, so you input the value 1.8 exactly. Or 1.9 in this case, since it just changed. Okay. And target speed, don't touch it. Target is not moving right now. That is for moving targets, if you, for example, aiming for a person walking or a car driving. But that's a bit difficult because you have to accurately guess the target speed and you have to fire at a precise distance. When it hits that point, it's a pain in the ass. It's difficult as well. A standing target is difficult enough. Yeah. But don't pay too much mind to it because it will keep changing. You can't predict the wind always. What you need to do is now, no, the other two values that the Castro shows you, you can ignore. Those are just the bearing and your altitude over ground. But wait, what you need to set in though is the wind direction. Go back to the target table. You see the wind direction clock? That means where's the wind coming from, not where is it going. So right now you set it to 12, so the Castrol thinks the wind is coming from straight ahead of you. Yes, you need to change it to 6, because the wind is coming from behind you, you're 6. If you imagine a clock, your front is the 12, your right is the 3, your left is the 9, and behind you is the 6. From the cursor on the top left of your screen that we acquired by pressing Shift K. Yeah. 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 Now I think you're all set. So you hit done. You get your you get. No. Now you need to set up your scope. So you see, you need to calculate the elevation. Don't do it. So now you can see the output value for your scope adjustment. You've got the elevation and the wind. Sadly, you cannot keep it open while you're adjusting that. That's a bit annoying, so you have to remember the numbers. So you've got an elevation of 4.27. Yeah. However, before you set that up, you need to calculate the values together for each table. So, you know, everything that's on the line of elevation, you need to calculate that together. And everything you need to calculate for the wind, you also need to calculate together. For the... exactly, 431, or 430. And you hold down Shift, and then you press Page Up. And it gives you one adjustment. So you do it again, until you reach 4. And now you let go of Shift and you just press Page Up to get a single adjustment. So you do that 3 times. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see on the top it's set to 4.3. And now you need to set the wind adjustment. So bring up your Castrol again, your A-track again. No, not that one. The A-track. Sorry, I misspoke. Hello? No. Yeah, that one. And now you need to do the wind adjustment. Pay attention because do pay attention. You see behind the number there's a little L. That stands for left. If there's an R, you need to calculate for right. Sometimes you may have values that contradict each other. So let's say you've got a hold of 0.2 L, but a spin of 0.1 R. Then you need to subtract the R from the L. Because, you're just left, right, left, right, left, right. Make sense? Okay, so now you just add those values together. Since they're all L, you can just adjust them. So it's 0.22 plus 0.05 plus 0.17. Exactly. So you just go for 0.4 left. Hold down Control and then press Page down to get left adjustments. Until you're at 0.4. There you go. And now you should be ready to get your shot in.
No.
No. And now you can take your shot at the window and see if you hit. Ooh. Yeah. Good one. Now then, what happened is that the wind changed in the meantime. If you look at the Castle right now, we're at 4.4 meters per second with wind. Right now it doesn't matter too much because the wind is right behind us. So a change in wind speed only slightly changes the elevation of the bullet where it will hit, but it's only minor changes. So yeah. However, if it were side wind, it would be a lot more terrible for us. So do remember that. Side wind is bad, front wind is good. Well, there is still a bit of randomization. a good calculation does not not a guarantee that the bullet will hit the same spot every single time. Oh yeah, definitely. This is 800 meter, which is still comfort zone for a sniper. If you go beyond 1000, then it gets a bit iffy. But this weapon can easily manage up to 1.5, even 2 on a good day. But yeah, like if it's even if it's still on the same distance. Yeah. Now, if you're on, for example, assassination jobs, where you want to assassinate a single target, you'll need to get your first calculation absolutely correct. But sometimes you're just on fire support, so you just want to get a rough estimate for your first job. You see where it lands, and then you can adjust your scope accordingly by hitting page up, page down, whatever is needed. You can go for the left-right adjustment until you're good. Also set up your bipod. Press C. That will help you a lot. Totally firing with C for the bipod.
I don't think your bipod's down.
Oh no, there's a glitch. It doesn't show for others, only for yourself.
No, I was watching his stream. He can move through freely too. Yes, no, it's down. Yes. But I can actually see his bipod. I can't see yours, Hades, but I can see his.
Yeah, same for me on by the way. I can also see his, but not yours. But yeah. Yeah, like bipod is absolutely godsend, but you cannot set it up everywhere because sometimes you've got too much slope, or there's something in your way where you cannot set up your bipod proper. For that reason, we do have the tripod with us. If you
or you can do this as well, no?
You can do that as well, but then you cannot set up your bipod. But what you can do is you can go to Control W
S.
from
No, that's S.
Control W from this position currently.
Yeah, from this position. Yes.
That was too much. One more time.
One more down. No.
There. You can switch in between all the
snipers very soon.
You can go in between all stances like that.
Why is it?
I can't wait for us to get mini snipers. Just do sniper squad only.
What do you mean mini snipers?
Oh, they're doing maximum training right now?
No. They're not mini snipers. They're gonna be full-fledged snipers once I'm done with it.
Oh yeah, so they are snipers. Good.
I mean, everyone can pick whatever they like.
Good. Yeah, I'm just asking because I would like to have an army of snipers. That could be great. Everyone just does 50 cals.
Do you remember?
Yes.
That yes. Also, you do have the SSWT kit with you. It is this little beautiful thingy here. Boaty already got it out. You deploy. Now, this beautiful thingy has the nice thing: you can move it, you can drag it, you can pick it up, and you can adjust its altitude. Its height. How high do you want to be when you fire? Do you want to be crouching? Do you want to be standing? Do you want to be high standing to fire over a wall? You can adjust that with the SSWT kit.
And you can do this as well.
It's okay. Am I not streaming anymore?
No, you're not.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's okay. Where it's especially useful, the SSWT kit, is if you want to shoot from inside the building. Because, what you rarely want to do is you want to put down your bipod onto a window frame. I mean, yes, AI doesn't know too much, but if you're going up against players, holding your barrel outside of the window is like death sentence to you. So do keep that in mind. But yeah, that's the basics of sniper thingy. Now, if you're working together with a spotter, it's smart that one person does all the calculations and then he just tells the other person what he needs to set up on and what's the target. But I would like to add one more thingy. What is smart as a sniper is if you actually make yourself a terrain map of your surroundings. For example, let's quickly figure out where we are at. 0311. 0311. Got it. And 07049. 07049. So somewhere around here we are. That is our spot. Now, if you expect to fight the targets in an environment where there's a lot of potential cover points, or a lot of potential target points, what you can do is, in advance, you set up a list of calculated targets. So, let's say, for example, you go over here, you set target 1, and then you just mark your adjustments that you need. For example, 4.2 with 3 up, and 0.4 left. And then you go on to the next target and you mark the next target. That way you can quickly switch in between targets without having to do the calculations all over again. Provided that the atmosphere stays somewhat the same. So you know that, for example, if your spotter says target 1, you just open up your map, you quickly look where's target 1, and then you see the adjustments there, and you can immediately adjust your scope and hit within a few seconds rather than to have half a minute sitting there doing calculations.
Can we actually do that? Like, can you place down some targets and, for example, I'll be PC spotter and then we switch?
We can do that if you want to.
Just for like practice.
That is just random numbers right now.
He was just guessing, yes.
Yeah. If we want to do it proper, let's see. Okay. Let me put down some targets. I'll restrain them so they don't run away. So we can shoot in rapid succession. So then we're taking some insurgents. We're taking a medic because we love to commit war crimes.
Yes.
I mean, yes, it is. But on the other end, it also is, for example, useful for a scenario where you want to defend a point. Let's say, right, we're defending a compound, and we're expecting targets from multiple angles. That way you can just look at some points where people will most likely take cover, or, just points that are generally good landmarks. Exactly, just so you can quickly adjust and have decent first shots. That's really what that is about. On your weapon, no, you cannot. You can do it on the Kestrel, however. There is ways how you can set up multiple targets. Okay then. I have set up some targets. Let's quickly. Also, you can open up a notepad on the map as well. If you hold down Control Windows key, and go to Intels and then Notepad, you can also slap that one next to the one. You can also do that. So then, let's quickly set it up, right? I've defined 4 targets around the area. Yeah, 4 targets. Can we see all of them, though?
I can see one right now. He is bearing 233. I can see another one bearing 228. He's on top of the building as well. There's another one, 224. Cannot see the last one though. Where are you? Ah, he just fell off the top of the building. He's bugging on 230. He's just like going up and down into
yeah,
the building.
I'll just quickly fix that.
230.
Wait, I'm gonna see if I can get a more stable position for him.
Just put him inside the tower, and we will recalculate it.
Okay. So, you've got 4 targets. Make your calculations, and then let's see if all your shots hit. Actually, you know what?
Okay.
Just for
So now I am the one calculating, correct?
this. You do you.
I mean, since I am the spotter, and you said that it's good to have one person calculate everything,
As I said, you do you.
but I can't see the fourth person now. Oh, yes. Yeah, we will switch after, no? So you take out these 4, and then Hades puts down 4 more, and then, I shoot those and you calculate. You just set up, I guess. Okay,
I mean, you can also do it together that every one of you does 2 targets.
okay, I'm starting with... Yeah, that was the one I started as well, then I'll... So you do the 2 closest to the life, 228, and you will do the other is 224, and then I'll do 233, and yes, and I do 234 as well. Yeah, I almost calculated that as well, but I stopped. Yeah.
It's okay. Take your time.
It was just a small miscalculation. Miscommunication, not miscalculation. Okay, that's done. Targets. The latitude I don't need to change. I need to change the wind speed and the direction. Right? Those were the only 2 that we
Yep.
changed.
Wind speed and direction. The wind or the Oh, you mean the A-track? The computer. It automatic. Yeah, it is always up to date. It is always up to date. The values are always correct.
Okay, so I need to change 2.2, 2.2, and this is 2.2 as well. And I'll... Which button was the Control K? No,
Shift K.
Shift K, yes. Then it's 6 o'clock still. Okay, so there's nothing else I need to change. Right? Right.
Right. Once
Okay.
you've done the wind and the speed.
Really write it down for yourself, please. Please.
In
Let
my
me know
opi-
because I have one of the calculations ready.
in my opinion, if I may add it,
Yes.
I always say that the spotter keeps all the data and the sniper only focuses on shooting.
Oh,
So
okay. So
essentially,
I should have calculated all of them.
like, no. Like, essentially, what I suggest is you note down the calculations, then you just call the shots. You say,
Wait, I don't. How do I access the notepad?
open up your map.
Oh, I can
Control.
only do it on the map. Okay.
Yeah, sadly.
Map
We do have another notebook.
items.
There is another notebook as well, but we don't have that on us right now, and
Oh,
also
but
not that great.
then I have to remember. Okay.
You have to remember what.
The calculations, because when I open the map, it closes the what is it called?
Yes.
Atrax.
Yes, you. Yeah, you do have to remember them for a brief moment, indeed.
One.
The direction of the wind, where it's coming from, if necessary. If necessary, that is. As long as the wind doesn't change, yes, but you'll need it once for the
But it
atmosphere.
did change this time.
Yeah.
It's
Also, probably, but you need to remember that sometimes the wind changes a lot, and sometimes even the atmospheric data changes, which is something to be considered as well.
it already changed since I calculated. Bruh, why did it change? So atmosphere, that's good, that's good, that's good. Yes, and I have the third one, the second to the right. So you don't need to calculate that. And I'm calculating the last one right now. Okay. So this one, the wind speed is 2.2, and again 2.2, and done. I have the third and the fourth from the left. But I might have fucked up the first one that I calculated because I think I didn't press done. Like when I put in the data, I think I forgot to press done and I didn't save the change data. So no, there's a done button. It just it just calculates by it. Well, I just wrote it down, basically.
Yep.
Okay, I think I have both of them, but I'll check the second one again because I am not sure if I fucked it up or not. But I think I did. So, fuck. Why isn't my control Windows key not working? What the fuck? Help. Help. Help.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to open up my interaction menu, but it doesn't work.
You guys are weird.
What did I do? I didn't do anything. I just tried to open up my fucking notes and...
You
Oh, I
did.
have to close the notes. Ah, yes, I have to close the notes. So it's a 4.2 and a 0.44. 4.2, 0.44. 4.2. Fuck. 4.2 up. 0.4 left. Okay, and I'm gonna recalculate the third one because I think I fucked that one up. By the way, I think you should calculate when you're in the position that you're gonna shoot from, and I don't think you're gonna shoot like that. Are you gonna be standing up? Because then... Yes, because the wind changes.
I mean, in my
It-
opinion, I
It
would
did
suggest.
change for me, like 0.58, 0.6, no, 8, yeah. It changes 0.8 milliseconds, meters per second.
Meters per second.
I mean, it did change for me when I stand up. It's fully different than when I'm not standing. Yeah, but the wind does. So again, atmosphere. No, targets. It's a 2.2. Yes, yes, yes. That's good. And I'm gonna check the atmosphere again. Which I can do. I think we are really fucking slow.
That's fine. Take your time.
I mean, it's not like I'm blaming you or anything. Just I feel slow. It does change when you stand up. Yes, yes. Okay. No, I didn't fuck it up. Nice. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, I have the two on the right. Let me know when you. If you want, I can write down your calculations as well, and then you don't have to look at them, and I can just tell you what to set. Okay. I just... Yes. 016 L. Okay, next one. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I thought you were ready. Sorry. I think I got these calculations mostly. It doesn't seem that hard. It just takes a lot of time to... Basically, everything's the same except the distance and the what? How is it? The bearing. Yes, yes. And maybe the direction. Maybe the direction of speed can change when you turn, but that's mostly it. I think. Am I right, Hades?
Hmm?
Am I right on that one?
Can you repeat the last one? I didn't quite catch that.
Like, what the only thing you need to check when you don't change positions and you're calculating, like the distance and stuff. The only thing you need to check is like the distance and the bearing, because the everything else will be the same for the other calculations as well. No,
Yes. Do you
except
sometimes
maybe the... Well, how do you say it?
the wind?
The wind of... Yes, the like the way it's coming from.
Yeah, do be careful with the wind, because sometimes you might turn too far and sometimes it might change in strength. But as long as it's stable, you can take solid shots quickly.
I mean, the wind might have changed a bit, but you said that it didn't change anything when you stood up and.
It's because you're not looking the same way. It's the Kestrel, not the Kestrel. The Atrax is using the one that you read in with the rangefinder from the micro dagger. No, it's connected to your micro dagger, so the Atrax just reads it in automatically. It changes by itself when you read in the data with the tab and R. Yes.
I'm just quickly going to test. I'm
You're
just
gonna
quickly going to
test
test
what?
myself. Mhm.
Sorry, what?
I have a weird sound bug. I can hear myself firing twice.
No, you take these shots and then Hades will put down some others.
Yep. Before you do,
From the right.
I suggest, Bodhi, do you now have all calculations?
No, I didn't get the the second guy from the left. That's the only one I'm missing.
Okay.
Yes.
Then maybe let P-Soldier give you his data as well, just so you can quickly tell him all 4 data in succession.
Yes. I mean, he calculated the guy on the left, the 2 guys on the left, and I calculated the 2 on the right. And he told me the first one, that's how I have it, but he was still
Okay.
calculating the second.
I mean, or what you can, or what you can also, what you could also do is one of you takes the 2 on the left and the other one takes the 2 on the right. So
So yes, I have.
if you calculate the 2 on the left, then you give Bodhi the measurements for the 2 on the left, and if Bodhi calculated the 2 on the right, you give P-Soldier. Okay.
Yes.
So P-Soldier, you start out. You're taking the 2 on the right hand side. Bodhi,
Okay.
Okay,
Bodhi, you're calling
so
out the target and the corrections.
no, I'm good. You can take the first shot. Give me a second. So bearing 234 is 4.2 up and 0.4 left
On the scope.
A suggestion, Bodhi, also give him a description of where the target is standing to avoid misconceptions.
Oh, okay.
So,
He's
for example,
No, he is standing on the top of the tower. I'll be right back. I'm getting the call.
okay, we're just gonna wait a moment until he's. We're just gonna wait for him until he's back since he's just taking a call. And 0.4 left. That's what he said. I'll be back in a moment. 0.4 left. 0.4 left. I'll be back in a moment to grab him some water. Okay, I'm back. Once again, the calculations are not absolutely 100% perfect. But yeah, possibly. But then again, it gets you very, very close to the target, so you can probably hit him with the second shot easily. There you go, he's down. Yeah, once again, that is pretty solid for a calculation. Probably a slight bit of wind. Or sometimes I've also noticed is that the data for the rifles is not
I'm
always
back.
100% accurate. Good first, good first calculation, buddy. Piece already took down the first target.
Nice.
A bit more, like
Yeah,
once, basically.
probably the wind.
Okay.
So
And
bearing 2. Okay, I'm gonna eat as well because my character's scarcely. Survival. Yeah, just give me a sec. I'm drinking.
down.
Yeah, down. So bearing
Mm,
233.
Sometimes if you have a massive height difference, if you're far elevated and the target is far down, then you might have to go down.
Yeah, 223. No. I'm talking about the direction. That was the direction. The measurements are 1.8 up and 0.2 left. No. No. He is standing in a balcony right in front of the tower. No, 233. Down. There he is. Yes.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Use other reference points that are very easy to find. For example, let's quickly. Okay, peaceful soldier, just follow my lead. Yeah. Okay. Bearing 235, you see the road. Okay. From the road, the first building on the left-hand side, top floor, next to 2 blue crates, 1 target.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. From there on out, follow the house line to the back left until you see the house with the blue fencing and the second floor. Yes, to the left of it, halfway hidden by the hill. Exactly. On the left-hand side, precisely. That way you can guide people. Use big target focuses and then guide from there.
Okay.
And better, what's usually easier if you go from close to further away. So look for a point closer to you and then guide them from there.
Okay. So the input is 1.8 up and 0.2 left. And I'm gonna be right back again because I have to talk to my sister for a second.
Headshot. second option is that you and your spotter already agree upon key phrases to mark targets. For example, you see the compound a bit behind the valley, bearing 233. Behind the valley with the city. There's like an extra compound with the tower and a house on the right. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, the one further away, on a bit elevated. Yeah. Mm-hmm. For example, you could just name that. Yeah, like just name it fort, and then whenever you say, all right, look towards fort, and then look to the bottom right of it. That quickly allows you to switch targets, but that is if you have excessive preparation time with a spotter. Precisely.
I'm back.
Hmm.
Nice.
Boti, what I also just explained to Peace Soldier is the second way how to quickly communicate with your partner. That is, if you've got some time in advance, you set certain key phrases up to name certain parts of the area.
Mm-hmm.
So an example Peace and I just used, bearing 233, there's a compound on a hill behind the settlement, a bit further away.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you say it looks like a fort or like a castle, you just name it something similar. So you just say, all right, that's castle from now, or that's fort.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you look at fort and then to the bottom right of it or bottom left, you can easily manage to go like that, or just say the Tower of Fort. All right, Tower of Fort, got it. That's a quick way how to call things out, but that is only if you've got excessive preparation time. Anyway, there's 2 more targets standing. They're getting impatient. They want to die. All right, then give it to him.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I can see him. Mm-hmm. I can see him. So 233 and 0 2. And then I'm gonna put in. It's gonna be 0.3 L. Okay. So let's see. Direct hit.
Target down.
Good calculations. Yes, yes. Yeah. One 9. I'm gonna go with 0.2.
Mm-hmm.
That's closer. Okay, let's see. Target
Direct
down.
hit. Wonderful. Both of you, excellent work.
By the way, I try to yeah, it helps, but I'm also correcting on my aiming as well, because it's more. I set it more to the right, to the left, because I can't set it exactly that, so I pull a bit to the right, so that I correct it.
But those are the minor things of the shooting.
Yes, yes.
But overall, you've done well. Now it's just practice and actually applying it in combat. The issue is with snipers. On most missions, a full-fledged sniper is a bit useless.
Yes.
For that reason, we can speed up your process a lot by applying the marksman theory. You remember we brought along a range card?
Yes.
If you open up the range card, you see a cluster. On the left-hand side, you've got the distance to the target, and on the right, on the side to the right, you've got the different temperatures, and thus applying the bullet drop. You can also go with wind and target lead, but we're just gonna ignore that for now. So you can just look up. So you can just measure the temperature once, which is rough estimate. So right now we had a temperature of roughly around 15. So you go to the 15 table, and then you say, all right, we've got the target 500 meters away, so it's minus 1.6. It doesn't calculate anything else, but it gets your first shot close enough so you can actually adjust from there on out. So let's see. The first target. Exactly, just to get a rough, close first shot. And then you can adjust from there on out, and take your second shot more. For example, yeah. Ignore that usually. Like that's for wind. That's for wind speeds of 4 meters per second. So big wind speeds. Anything below that is not worth noting. But you can also just do it by estimated guessing. Just fire the first shot, see where it lands, and then. It is up to 2 kilometers, but you can't even get a scope that far, I think. That is the lead for the target speed. No, you won't be using it too much, but it's a nice and quick way to get some quick basic calculations going. Or not calculations, but Just go for the bullet drop. Ignore the air thing. Just go for the bullet drop. Only the bullet drop, nothing but bullet drop. Fire your first shot, see where it lands, and then adjust accordingly. No, that is what minus thing. That is just the upward correction. What other one? Yeah. Technically, the two on the right hand side, like the wind speed and so, they would be for the sideway. However, they don't calculate it for the basic spin of the weapon. That is the thing. When you fire a bullet, your bullet, to maintain stability, spins in the air. The 8-track calculates that. This sheet does not. This is a purely estimate sheet. It is for marksman work. Basically, like essentially this sheet is not meant for accurate one shot kills, but it's for an estimate. Yeah, it's basically so you can guess. You can make an estimated guess where you have to aim your fire shot. You see where it lands, and then you adjust from there and out. So let's maybe say you fire on your scope, and you see that your bullet hit like 1 mil to the right of it, or 1 mil too high. Mm-hmm. 1000 under 15 degrees is minus 5.9. 1000 on 15 degrees. Bear in mind, we're on 15 degrees. We're not on. Yeah, so it's 5.9, so it's nearly 6. Yeah. Exactly. For a combat situation, this one is absolutely perfectly fine. But if you go for a assassination where your first shot needs to be perfect, just bear in mind basic wind influence will change this a lot. You can if you not really, no, just guess it. Like, fire the first shot with your crosshair straight on a target, and then look where the bullet impacts. And then let's put it this way. Usually you will see where your bullet impacts on your scope. And then just go by windowing it from your scope. You know how your scope has the dots going out from the center? Those are called mil, just for reference. When you see, for example, your bullet hits like 1 mil up and 2 mil to the right, then you just go to a downward correction. You just aim for that point instead. You just choose that as the center of your aim. And that is precisely the same how you handle that situation. You shoot your first bullet, you see where it impacts, all right. A bit too high, a bit to the right. So you go a bit lower and a bit to the left, and boom, hit. Yeah, but that's it. That's sniping. The rest of you, the rest is just practice.
I mean, it's not that hard, I think. I think I understand.
Yeah. What I suggest on a mission, don't bring a... what I suggest on a mission, don't bring a full-on sniper rifle, but instead bring a marksman rifle, a 7.62. They allow for faster rate of fire, they're a bit lighter, so you can bring more ammunition as well. And they're still capable of firing up to a kilometer away, which is probably the highest you will go. Hell, you could even bring an extra scope to keep your advantage at close range.
Hey, now we need something else. I need medical training as well. Now that we are done with this,
like
a full-on
basic medic or full medic?
Full medic.
Full
I know
medic.
the basics. The basics are easy, but mostly my biggest problem is there are so many items that I have no fucking idea what they do.
It's fine. We can go through that as well. Yeah. Oh, you did? Awesome. Oh, sure. I don't mind. Okay, then I'll quickly publish my medical loadout.
I already have your loadout.
I think I updated mine a bit, so...
Oh no.
A bit. It's not terrible.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'll just wait for you to show it then. But I have ketamine.